What's up, Internet? Javier here, aka King Javo, and I've been busy with a lot of things, and this video is just a candid camera type video where I'm just going to just shoot some dialogue at you, and hopefully you guys can at least understand where I'm at with the game and what the latest status is. Yeah, right. So for the past, I'd say 2 or 3 weeks since I've done my last video, I've been working. As you guys know, and for those of you who don't know, I'm still working my full-time job, and I'm busy. I have family, a job, and everything, so that stuff gets in the way. But it's not going to stop me from building this game, and I really enjoy doing this, and I'm excited to keep pushing the game. Right. So I'm working with. Right now I have one developer, really cool guy. I'm working with him on the actual code and building the foundation of the game. He's really good at GameMaker Studio. He's been doing it for I think a few years now, and smart dude, cool cat, and he's really helping me get the foundation built for this game. As of recent, we're working on the camera, because for those of you guys who know anything about pixel art and game development, the camera is very important, and keeping it pixel perfect, like I've mentioned to you in my previous videos, keeping it pixel perfect is something that you aspire to do, because you don't want your pixels to begin to get distorted, right? So we've been focusing heavily on how to zoom out of the camera and zoom back in, particularly on the pre-play, right? So when you're at the line of scrimmage and you're doing your pre-snap routines, and you want to look at your play and hover out like Madden does or the other football games do. Well, when you hover out in a pixel game, you start to get distortion. But we're working on a way for it to look more natural. It may just pop out. It may zoom out slowly and you see a little bit of distortion. You probably can't see it with the naked eye. And then as long as when you stop, the pixels are all solid pixels, and there's no fractional pixels. So you see parts and pieces. Hopefully, that's the goal, and that's what we're shooting for. So we've been working on the camera. In the previous videos, we've obviously worked on the AI, trying to get the collisions working and really restructure the entire game to have a solid library of classes and make it really object oriented, which really just means making it organized. So that's with the developer, and as of right now, we're currently trying to get the assets, all of the art assets that we have at the moment, which we're continuing to build on a week-by-week basis. And I have two artists that I'm working with. One is more dedicated than the other one, but I'm bringing the other one in now because I'm finding out that I'm going to need him, right? We're going to need to get a lot of art for this game, and I'm planning on having multiple stadiums. The goal, it would be nice to have 32 stadiums per, one per team. But that's something that we're going to have to figure out, because it just depends on how many resources we have and how much time I can spend on this game. But the art assets are coming in, and they take time, so got to respect that. The guys are talented, they know what they're doing, and they make really good pixel art, so it's just a matter of just waiting. One of the things that I'm trying to work on right now is the actual field and building not the stadium yet, but the field and the camera and the players, and having the field start to take some shapes so that the game can actually look like a real game and have that atmosphere behind it. And like a lot of the 2D side-scrolling games that I watch, the atmosphere's there. You have the parallax scrolling in the background, you have the clouds, you have the lighting. So I want to start to get all of that stuff worked out. The foundation's still being built. The gameplay is being built. The AI is being built. We have the user interface. The user interface started already. So we have some things that we're doing where we show the coin toss and we show you heads or tails. And I'll be demoing that for you guys soon. Whenever I get the code back and get the latest from the developer, I'll be putting that together and merging my code with his, and then we can see some updates there. But this is, like I said, just an off-the-cuff, candid scene here. So one thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, with all that said, one thing I wanted to mention that I'm very interested in, I'm always interested in the business side of this, and not so much because I enjoy it, but just because there's not that much information out there on what it really takes to make a game, an indie game, and what it takes to publish one, and can you expect to make a living off of this? Is this something that you just do and burn your time and money? And for those of you guys who are familiar with the industry, this stuff takes time. I mean, it takes a lot of time to do. It takes a lot of money, energy, and sacrifice from you and your family and close, friends and everything, right? So, if you're going to put that much time into this, hopefully the goal would be to have some kind of a return, not to become filthy rich, but just to have something to keep you going so that you can continue living the dream of making games. Because a lot of us who play games and grew up playing games, a lot of our dreams have been, hey, why not just, have the ability to make a game, right? And that's my thing. It's been always my dream. It's just a matter of how to do it. I worked at EA a long time ago as a QA tester, part of their QA department, and it was such a low-level job that I really didn't feel like I had the ladder to grow. Plus, I have my own feelings about EA as a company. They're part of the corporate America industry, and that's something that I'm not always a big fan of, right? And you don't have as much flexibility and creativity, and so you're bound by whatever the suits want, which is a lot of the reason why the games today don't take the path that we want. Madden is one of the examples that we have where Madden is not the game that we want. Madden is something that we all deal with, and they keep putting money into things that make them money. And that makes sense from a business standpoint. But I'm not going to go off into a rant with Madden, because you guys know me who watch me. I'll go on for a long time with Madden. The point, though, is that there are a lot of people out there that are trying to do an indie development company. And for me, this game is my attempt at that. I started out by trying to mess around with mobile games in Unity and the Unity engine. And then I also messed around with Unreal. And I've kind of caught myself in between with GameMaker Studio, which is much more sophisticated than I thought it was. I thought it was just a simple tool you use, and they have drag and drop, which I don't use. I use the actual GameMaker language. And they have an entire library, an entire language that you can use, just like Unity. So, it's just as sophisticated as Unity, in my opinion, when it comes to 2D games. And which is a good thing. That's what I want. I can do programming. I do it for a living, and that's something that I'm able to enjoy. But there's a learning curve involved, and it just takes time to learn their methods and their libraries and how things work and the IDE and everything, right? That's basically the user interface for those of you guys who don't really follow this stuff. But I guess the point that I'm trying to make is that this stuff takes time, and a game like this is the middle ground. The game that I wanted to make was more of a 3D game. It's not a game like Madden or Canadian football or Access football. It's not a competitor to Madden, because that to me is so far from what I think I can accomplish with the time, resources, and skills that I have, that I don't know if I'll ever get that done. That's way too ambitious for me to even try, number one. And number two, the competition's out there. Is it going to be better than Madden? Probably not. Madden has its problems, and we all have issues with the game. A lot of us do. But that game also has the NFL license. It's made with millions upon millions of dollars behind their back. They have affiliates, they have ESPN, they have so many resources. To even dare compete with them is just, to me, it's a no-win situation. The guys that are trying to do their own thing, shout outs to them. I respect them. I think that, they're doing a wonderful job trying to build this type of game for us. And I hope that they just hit home runs. I really do. But when it comes to my situation, I landed on this game because I think, number one, I'm very, very, I have a passion for pixel art. There's something about it, I guess, growing up playing Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis, those types of older games, arcade games. For me, pixel is just ageless. It's just, you look at it today and you see games like Hyper Light Drifter and even the game Gunpoint. I mean, there are so many games out there that you can look at on the PC that are pixel graphics, and they're just beautiful games with pixel art. And that stuff is timeless for me. I mean, there's no time. I think I just said classless, but I meant timeless. There's no time that really expires that stuff. That stuff just sticks. And when it comes to 3D to me doesn't age very well. You go back to the 3D we had with like the PlayStation and what we had with the Nintendo 64. I mean, you look at those graphics now and they just don't look good. They don't age well. And when you look at 2D art, that stuff just gets prettier and prettier and prettier with the technology that we have. Back in the day when Super Nintendo and Nintendo were around, they only had so many bytes of memory that they could work with. So the pixel art was okay. Neo Geo, now they got really, really nice pixel art. They did a good job with that. But nowadays with the technologies we have and the power of the PCs and the next generation consoles, you can do so much with pixel art. You can make it look really damn beautiful. So I'm a fan of it. And pixel art's not cheap to make, by the way. That stuff costs money. And I don't know if it's even what the comparison between pixel art and 3D is. I don't know what that comparison is from a price standpoint. But for me, it's something that I think I can deal with on a simpler level. Like, I don't have to worry about rigging any skeletons and bones and getting animations. I mean, you have to buy animations for these pixel arts, characters and these things to come to life. That has to be created by someone. And I'm not a pixel artist, but it just doesn't seem like that much of a learning curve. It doesn't seem like it's that far of the complexity of the game diminishes with what I'm trying to do now. So I've picked this type of game, which is a pixel art style, as close to simulation, fun football game that I can get with deep, deep customization options. And it's not going to have the football NFL license. Maybe if it does well, I'll get the NFLPA license, because I've seen a lot of games do that. And either they're getting investment money, or they're rich, or they're making money. So I don't know. But my plan is to knock this game out of the park. And I'm going to give the most that I can for this game to be successful. There's no guarantees. But what I want to hear from you guys is your feedback. I mean, a lot of you guys who watch me, I know a lot of you guys are 2K folks who like simulation football, and you're right in my camp. I mean, that's what I want. I'm sick of Madden. I want something better. But I also would love to hear what you guys think about this project. You can tell me you hate it. You can tell me you love it. You can tell me, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's just, I would just like to know what you guys think, and to see if I'm just crazy about this idea or I'm just out in left field. Because what I don't want to do is just build this and then, it not be the game I should have built. I look at Super Mega Baseball, which those guys from Metalhead Software, I look up to those people, man. Those guys quit their jobs. They worked contract work part-time to keep the rent paid and to put food on the table. And those guys spent like 5 to 7 years building Super Mega Baseball. And they didn't know anything about the gaming industry. They did regular business software, and they did some AutoCAD work, which lent well with coding for a game, but those guys had to trash engines and had to do rework, and they spent a lot of time and energy and frustrations going out to PAX East and going to GDC and going all these places, and it's a struggle. But these guys built a 3D game. And so when I look at their game, I'm like, man, should I go with the 3D game and make it more like a Super Mega Baseball, but for football, but kind of like a Mario game for football, like a fantasy type football game, or even 3D with non-fantasy things, with regular humans, and try to make that kind of a game. And what would it cost to make that game? And how long would it take to make that game? But if I have one shot at this, and the shot is to do something that I think I can manage, that the scope is small enough that I think I can complete it in a reasonable amount of time, and it won't cost more money than I have, or that I can build, that I can build up and attract, then that's the kind of route that I'm choosing. But if I only have one shot at this, I know the game I'd like to make. It would be like an APF game. That's not going to happen. Next thing down will be a game like a Mario football game, 3D, right? The next one down is what I'm making now. And the one even lower than that would be like a 2D or some low 3D mobile game that I've already been working on and I stopped. Like a mobile fun football game, like an endless runner game, or something simple that has to do with football that I can do the graphics or pay for cheap graphics and do some simple artwork and boom, be done in like 3 to 6 months max. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it was a little bit just informal. I'm going to have more to show in the game. I wanted to get a video out for you guys to at least get the latest news and share my thoughts with you. And be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's get this thing going. Let's build up this network of people that are hungry for something different. And if you like the channel, like I said, watch me, man. I'll be doing more videos down the road. Give me your feedback. Let me know in the comments if you like this style, if you don't, if you have certain topics you want me to talk about or you'd like to hear about. Feel free to lend me some comments, and we'll catch you next time. All right, peace.